how Snoop Dogg became the most famous rapper alive. Stick around to find out.
This is a continuous improvement movement reserved for the few with the grit to prove it. Everybody claim, but the click exclusive. Many pursue, but it's too elusive.
Snoop Dogg has had a legendary career. Some of his major accomplishments are 40 million records sold worldwide. He also has 17 Grammy nominations, which speaks to his longevity. And he has built an entrepreneurial empire across industries such as fashion, obviously music, now as the owner of
Death Row Records.
That's Right.
And they just released a new album with Dr. Dre, Snoop and Dre. It's a banger. I listened to it this weekend. It's really, really phenomenal music.
He, of course, has his hand in the cannabis industry, and he has even released a cookbook with Master Stewart. So, Calvin, what is his secret sauce? Please tell me.
I think there's a lot going on in the secret sauce, maybe some THC in the secret sauce too. But if I dig into my lean toolbox, I would say Snoop Dogg's secret sauce is Kanban. And I'll tell you why. Managing flow. Not only is he, known as the Godfather of Rap, but lyrically, flow on the mic is, I would say, it's untouchable, really, in the music industry. The Dog Father. Yeah, for sure. But his consistent output of work over a long span of 20, 30, going on 40 years now, right? Number two, flexibility. This is someone who consistently reinvents himself. Obviously, he's always Snoop Dogg, but he reinvents his brand or his approach on a consistent basis. And number three, whip limits. He kind of transitions from one persona at a time, right? And when he goes all in on a thing and how he's gonna approach the game, he goes all in, and he's that for some frame of time, and then maybe he'll switch it up and then become something else. So he's not one of these all over the place, try everything, do everything type of people. He's more of a, hey, this is who I am, this is my identity at this phase in time.
So you mentioned going with the flow, right? So I think that is it's just so impressive to me that he didn't just wake up and say, this is what my life is going to be like. Every step of the way, he took a moment, he reflected on how things were going at the moment, and he decided, hey, I like how it's going, I don't like how it's going. This is what I'm going to do next, and this is what I learned from my previous experience. I'm going to carry it over, but I'm going to continue my evolution. What do you think about that?
I think it's brilliant. I think there's always an undercurrent of Snoop Dogg being himself, Snoop Dogg. So there is almost a standard product, if you want to look at him as a product, right? There's a standard base product, but he adds some customization on top of that, right? We saw him start as Snoop Dogg the gangster rapper, go to Snoop Dogg the pimp, to Snoop Lion, to Snoop Dogg the football coach and father, to a few other things, and now he's Snoop Dogg the business mogul, right?
Yeah.
And he's done the TV show thing with Martha Stewart, and he's hosted the Olympics with Kevin Hart. He could have even been Snoop Dogg the comedian, at one point. The guy's hilarious, right? And just fun to watch. He's the consummate ultimate entertainer. And now the business mogul. I think it says something to his growth as a human and his evolution and the phases he passed through as a human. But underneath all of it, he's still very much the Calvin Brodus or the Snoop Dogg that we knew from the beginning.
Oh, that's right. His name is Calvin. I had forgot. That is such is his persona. I had forgotten his real name is Calvin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, household name, Snoop Dogg, right? Everybody knows Snoop.
That's right. So we talked about going with the flow and flexibility. How can Kanban help you be flexible in your journey?
That's the ultimate benefit of Kanban, right? Not only is it, a mechanism for inventory control and work in process control, where you're processing a finite number of, pieces or units or service at a time, right? And Snoop exemplifies this, right? He is one persona at a time. Um, but it's really to create flexibility, because let's say you got a whole inventory built up of raw material or work in progress or whatever it is, and then someone says, "Oh crap, we're in the wrong business. We need to switch it up and go to this new thing." Right now, you got to sit there and deal with the massive inventory you've built up.
Yeah.
And people don't want to deal with the sunk costs involved with managing and discarding of lots of inventory. When it comes to Snoop, though, right, as opposed to different artists and different entertainers, I think what people do is get trapped in a certain persona or a certain style or a certain product that worked for them in the past, and they build up a psychological inventory of, hey, I made this one song, or I made this one I did this one thing, I made this one movie, and it worked so great, and they try to kind of build their entire brand and story and everything else around that idea, that when it becomes so obvious that they need to switch up the game, they're kind of stuck with that massive psychological inventory, and they can't move past it, right? They'd rather try to change the world to be more to their liking than to adapt themselves to what the world is needing.
That is so relevant today because tomorrow is December 31st. We're going into a new year, and we need to be thinking, who do we want to be in 2025?
Yeah.
It's just a psychological game. Even though you have the tools like Kanban to move forward with your business, with your life, it is hard to let go and move on.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And I guess we could take one from Snoop, right? Who do we want to be in 2020? It's not to say be somebody fake or not who you genuinely are. I think in Snoop's example, he is who he is.
It's just evolve.
But he evolves. He says, this is what I am based on what I've learned, and here's where the world is going, and here's what the world needs, and then become that, right? Or move into a new phase. So
and be brave to try something new that will take you where you want to go.
Absolutely, right? And take risks.
Take risks.
Yeah. So there it is, 2025.
2025. Happy New Year. We'll see you again in 2025. Thank you again for listening. Let's get better every day, and I'll see you later. For daily news on operational excellence and how it relates to current events, check us out on the Ticket to Freedom podcast.
Simply subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay up to date on the latest developments in continuous improvement.